If you're new to this channel, I invite you to follow and subscribe to my channel if you like to see more of my content. And if you like my content, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And leave your thoughts and feelings in the comment section below. I really truly appreciate everything that you write and share with me. Yeah. When we talk about self-sabotage, we only talk about the most basic things that we often see, like how we destroy our lives by using drugs or drinking a lot of alcohol or live in alcoholism, living our lives with drugs or living our lives with passive lifestyle, or we'll just induce ourselves in the modern ways of living. And we know that self-sabotage is when we do things that compromise our selves, that compromises our mental health, that compromises our relationships with ourselves and others. But there's the other side of self-sabotage that is almost discreet to the point of not being really detected, because we think this self-sabotage tendencies are normal because everyone does it. Let's say a nation does it, and you know yourself, or if you're able to recover from, or let's say you've been into therapy and you realize that what you've experienced all your life is shouldn't happen to anyone, or you figured out that there's something wrong in the childhood that you went through, but you can't have someone, or you don't have anyone to talk about it, because everyone thinks like that. Everyone thinks that it's normal to do that. But we don't know, or maybe we don't like to know and acknowledge that generational trauma exists. That a trauma that could have affected and impacted our ancestors, let's say. We think that what happened to them, the fears and the anger that they felt during their time, will never be passed on to us. It does. So you see, like for example in the Philippines. So before the Spanish came, everything was settled, everything was okay as it was. And although it wasn't a perfect society, but everything was fluid. There was no strict gender role, matriarchy system. It was just equal. Men and women are equal. And we have this deep respect to Mother Gaia. We have deep respects to the spirits that live in the mountains, that live in the rivers, in the forests. And not until March 16, 1521, when someone from the west came to our lands and conquered the land, without knowing that in the next 333 years, this nation will become under their control. And since then, more and more wars came. There was no way to process things. There was no one to ask about, I'm depressed, or I was molested. No one could talk about it. Or maybe if they did, they don't know what it was. They don't know trauma. They don't know, maybe they know trauma as an idea, or maybe they felt it, they thought about it, but it wasn't like today where we submit ourselves to therapy and we acknowledge the importance of mental health. We didn't have that. And right now it's so sad to see that all this time, in the next hundreds of years, we are still living in the same trauma that they have experienced before. For example, in my case, despite my attempts to, I've been doing all the shadow work and I've been confronting my fears and my mistakes and accountability, improving my ability to feel my sense of responsibility and accountability to everything that I've done, and to take ownership of everything, of the big things, the little things, that every little thing that I've done in my life, and really confront them without judgment. And I've been doing that for years, but there's this fear where I cannot explain. The fear to show myself for who I truly am, to show myself, to talk to you the way I talk to my sister, the way I talk to my husband. And as soon as there's like a camera, like as soon as there's a social, as soon as there's a change of lens, like this is not just me and my husband anymore, or this is not just me and my sister anymore, there's someone watching, I kind of have that fear. It's not even like I'm self-conscious or like, oh, like most people will think, oh, like what will they think about me and all that stuff. But in my case, it's deeper. It's like, it's always a fear of someone take advantage of me, someone will kill me, someone will take me down, someone will chase me, someone will hurt me, someone will harm me, even if I didn't do anything wrong. There's that fear and sense of, I don't want to call it paranoia, but there's that sense of insecurity, sense of not being able to feel a sense of comfort, or even the fear of feeling good, the fear of not being able to do something because I fear that I will be useless. I fear that I will be a failure to the bone. I fear that I will not, or anything that I do will not be appreciated at all. I fear that whatever I say and talk and write, no one will care at all. And just by confronting that makes me feel powerful. Why? Because I'm able to confront it in a way where none of my family, or at least some of my family, did, but not all of them. And I don't want to say that. I mean, every family is imperfect. There's no such thing as perfect family. But if a family is running or has been running from a generational traumatic mindset, for sure, if you're thinking like me and you think like everyone around you is miserable and it's normal to live miserably, and then you ask yourself, is there something wrong with me? Yes, there's something wrong with you in their perspective, in their eyes, yes, because you woke up. That's what happened to you. You woke up. And because you woke up, you start to question things. What truly happened to me? What have I done? What I've been doing? Why I'm saying these things when these words don't even mean anything to me? Why do I do things that hurt me? Why do I do things that violates my personal beliefs and principles? Why do I do something that's against my truth? Why do I always have to bow down to others when knowing that's not the right thing to do? Why do I always have to follow this and that instructions, thinking that I'm young and young people have more things to learn in life when adults are acting children? We're afraid. We're trained to be afraid. We're programmed to be afraid. Because being fearful is the best way to control someone. Being afraid to do something is the best way to control someone. And the more controlled you are, you could say that the higher the control, the higher the fear. So if they have controlled most of your life, then you could say that there's something in you that they fear the most. That's why they control you, because it's easier that way. Let's say you're a lion and you grew up thinking that you're a donkey. It's an odd example, but let me. But let's say you're a lion and you grew up in a cage and your caretakers make you believe that you're a donkey. So you live a donkey lifestyle. And then you're kind of feeling this, like you want blood. That carnivorous nature, primal nature of being a lion will always call you, because that's your nature. But in your mind, you're a donkey. So you have to act like a donkey. So if you follow your instincts of roar, and then you suddenly hear yourself, oh, you can actually roar. You actually have claws. You actually have this nice mane. You have this wonderful roar, powerful roar that could shake the kingdom. But because they made you believe that you're a donkey, you just eat grass. I'm not saying anything bad about being a vegan or something. Like, I love salads, but I'm just saying, like, there's nothing wrong with being a goat. But there's something wrong if people make you believe that you're a goat when you're a human being. So, anyway, if you understand what I'm trying to say, yeah, in the same way, maybe like you're a lion, you're a lioness, but all your life, the people around you, the people that you love to surround with, make you feel like you're a donkey because that's so familiar. That's a very, very familiar, comfortable. That's your safe place. Because changing things is uncomfortable. Change is difficult. Change is painful. Change is not an easy thing to do. It's easier said than done, but the only constant in this world is change. So there's no way you can avoid it. But if you continue living like a donkey and think like a donkey, then you will never, ever discover the lion and lioness in you. And just like my family, like just realizing that I have been running in this cyclical, generational, I could even say intercontinental, because of Spain and Philippines, intercontinental, just the fact that just a simple decision, just any decision your present self can do will change generations. Just because, like, for example, you were never able to find light in the darkness. You unknowingly pass on that fear to your child. That child will grow up in the same way that you grew up. And your parents grew up the same way, so they taught you the same. And you knew it's wrong. You know what they're doing is wrong, but you cannot say anything. You cannot say anything because you're just a kid. Adults knew more. So you have to grow up. You have to wait until you grow up. You waited until you become an adult to finally say a damn word. Yet you find yourself still under their control because you never learned how to have control, self-control. Because you never learned how to even look at yourself. You're taught to look for others, to look out for others, to care for others. Because without others, you cannot live. And no man is an island. That's what they make you believe. That you cannot survive alone. For sure, we cannot survive all alone. We need each other to survive. But the way it's taught, the way it's communicated, it shifts every pure soul, every pure child's beliefs and principles, thinking that this is right when it's not right. We're taught to believe that we ourselves are incapable of change because we fear something that we don't know. We fear something or anything that we don't have any explanation. We fear anything that we cannot see. We fear anything that we cannot explain. We fear anything that we cannot unhear. Instead of being curious and look forward and explore and discover, we fear. Because we love to fear others, we love to fear ourselves. Because fear is what we're most comfortable with. Just try to remove fear for once in your life and you will discover a different side of you. If you try to roar much more, even at the cost of being scolded by your caretakers, then so be it, because you're a lion. You're never a donkey. It took me 30 years to discover how this generational trauma has impacted my family. And we're talking about hundreds of years since the Spanish came. The Spanish colonizers came, I should say. Because let me ask any Filipino out there, has there anyone in your family have ever talked about, let's go to therapy? I bet you even say, even at least 20 years ago, we even chain our relatives because thinking having some mental disease is a stigmatizing thing, that we try to keep our relatives in a cage, chain them like a dog. Because we fear the shame. We fear the shame that we get from our community, thinking that anyone in our family has something in our heads. And because we fear it so much, we try to hide it, knowing that all of us can see the bad things happening around us, but we choose not to speak because we fear. We fear ourselves for being able to speak the truth. We fear ourselves for not being able to stand up for others. We fear that we cannot sleep at night getting haunted by all the things that you've done in the past. And because it's a generational thing, no one has ever told you. No one has ever told you that what we're living or what you're living is like swimming in a very highly polluted, like highly toxic river, but you live there. You live there. I mean, you swam there, you grew up there, knowing that this is a toxic river. But you live there, so it's okay to live there. It's way, way easier to live that way, right? But without knowing that this is a thick river, a polluted river, and you have a chance to escape, you have a chance to run away, you have a chance to do something else, to free yourself from this bondage, from this cage, to finally be a lion, to live like a lion, not a donkey. But it's up to you, it's up for the present self to choose the kind of future self he or she wants to embody and live. And this is not about gender. Like seriously, I don't care what you believe in yourself. Like, that's up to you. Your opinions and thoughts about me belongs to you. They don't belong to me. But that doesn't mean that it hinders us from connecting with each other just because we have different opinions, different views in life, and that's a very healthy thing. We should have a different view in life because that makes us universal, that makes us unique, that makes us stand out, that makes us us. But what are we doing? We try to live in a box. We try to live in a limited box in this limited self-belief, this limiting self-belief that we believe that we're a donkey when we're a lion. And if this message resonates with you, I hope that you get something out of it. And if you're starting to ask yourself this very question that I've asked a few years ago, like at the moment when I decided to live at that time, like I know it will not be an easy thing, but it's not an easy thing to discover and acknowledge that there's something wrong. And it's not wrong to acknowledge that there's something wrong with you. And I'm speaking that from the heart space. I'm speaking that out of love for soul to soul. I'm talking to your soul right now. I'm not talking to you, to your brain. Oh, my dear brain and your dear brain, please go to the sides first. Let our souls talk. So I want you to listen to my soul. I want your soul to talk to me. So if you are in the same situation where if you're listening to this episode and you think that, yes, I'm in that situation now, what can I do? Acknowledge it. That's the first thing you can do. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that this is happening. This has happened to me, and this happened to me. Acknowledge that by acknowledging the past, not by throwing them away and forgetting them because they're so damn painful. No. Your past selves is a collection of yourselves that made who you are right now. Without them, you will never be who you are right now. So, but it's up to you, your present self, to choose which way to go. Look around and look within. Look around you. What's going on around you? What's going on in front of you, right before your eyes? What's happening? What's happening inside you? Look within. What's happening inside you? Are you angry? Do you feel like you have to cry? Do you feel like angry at me right now for telling you these things? Do you feel annoyed? Do you feel like punching the walls right now? Do you feel like shutting this video off because it's just so painful to continue? Do you feel like, I don't know what you're feeling right now, but just feel it. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge that you have feelings. Acknowledge that you have feelings because you are a human being and you have feelings too. We function in a capitalistic way because that's how it's been done, and that's like, okay, we work on this system because this has been the way things are, but that doesn't mean that it controls you and your soul. You don't let that happen to you because you are the driver of your life. You own your life. You own that soul, and that soul belongs to that body, and that body belongs to that soul. So, please take care of your body, take care of your vessel properly, because there's a soul living in it. And I hope that today you'll start asking yourself, why is this happening to me? What has happened to me? What is happening to me right now? Then you start looking around, you look around, and you look within. You look around and you look within. Again, you look around and you look within. Look around you. Look at your friends. Look at your husband. Look at your children, one by one. Look at your spouse. Look at your boyfriend. Look at your sister. Look at your brother, your mother, your father, your neighbor, the donkey living next street. I mean, look at everyone. Are they okay? And look within. If you see they're not okay, why? Why are they not okay? Are you okay too? How do you feel? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry? Are you frustrated? Tell me. Don't just feel it like some vague idea. You like try to define that feeling. You're angry right now because I'm happy right now because. If there's like until you cannot figure out like what makes you angry, what makes you fearful and all, this is when a time when you can examine, is this an ancestral thing? Is this something that I inherited from my ancestors? Is this something that I inherited from my grandmother? Is this something that I inherited from my mother? Is this something that I inherited from my great-great-grandfather? Anything that cannot be explained after all this. But this is shadow work. Okay? You look around, you write it down in your journal. What do you see? And then you look within. What do you feel about what you see? What do you feel about what you did? What do you feel about all of this? And then if it's like things like limited self-belief, fear, anxiety, phobia, anything that limits the soul, try to examine them. And maybe you'll figure out that there's an ancestral trauma, generational trauma, being passed on for generations and for the next generations to come if you won't do anything about it. And I hope that you find this video helpful, and I know that I've been talking a bit way too long. This is already like almost half an hour, but I hope that you learned something from me today. And what I've been telling you in the last couple of minutes, this is how I've been doing the shadow work, just in written form. So just look around, look within. And every page, look around, look within. Next day, you look around, you look within. You write down what you see, hear, whatever, anything, just anything. Like, it doesn't have to make it sense. It will make sense later on, I promise. Just like chill, look around, look within, and then you do that in the next 3 years and you'll figure out. Help yourself. It's time. It's time to find the real you that's hiding inside that little smarty brain. So I hope that you have fun in this episode, because I did, and I feel like my back is really warm. I really feel that my entire body is shaking and really warm and really, really warm. So it's like the whole heater is blasting all over the room. So I thank you for your patience and for trying to understand this episode. And I know that I have been taking you too long. So anyway, see you in the next one. Cheers.